Welcome to Civics in a Year, the podcast that makes civic literacy fast, accessible, and surprisingly engaging. In just 10 minutes an episode, we'll tackle one of 250 essential questions about American democracy, how it works, why it matters, and what it means for you. Whether you're a student, a teacher, or just someone who wants to better understand your country and your rights, you're in the right place. Civics in a Year is powered by the Civic Literacy Curriculum from the Center for American Civics and is produced in partnership with the School of Civic and Economic Thought and Leadership at Arizona State University. Welcome back to Civics in a Year Kids Edition, where we explore big ideas about how our country works one question at a time. I'm your host, Liz, and I'm really excited to talk about today's question. Today's question is, what is a constitution? So let's start with a little story. Imagine that you and your friends are building the best clubhouse ever. You've got rope ladders, a snack corner, maybe even a no broccoli allowed rule. As a side note, President George H.W. Bush hated broccoli. But then the arguments start. I want to bring my dog inside. No pets allowed. We should have a movie night every Friday. Only if we can watch cartoons. Pretty soon you realize you need some rules that everyone agrees on. So you grab a notebook and you write them down. You decide who can come in, how you decide on snacks, and how to keep your clubhouse safe. When everyone signs the paper, you've just made your own little mini constitution for your clubhouse. So, what is a constitution in real life? A constitution is the most important set of rules for a country. It tells us how the government works, how leaders are chosen, and what rights the people have. It's like a promise between the government and the people. The government promises to follow the rules, and the people promise to protect their rights. So, quick question for you. If you could make one rule that everyone in your school has to follow, what would it be? Think about it and think about why you'd make it. Now let's take a quick trip back to the summer of 1787 in Philadelphia. The United States was still very new, and our first plan for government, the Articles of Confederation, was not working very well. So, leaders from different states came together for what we now call the Constitutional Convention. They met in a really hot room with the windows closed. Yes, even in the summer. Because they wanted their conversations to stay private until they had a plan. They argued, they debated, they compromised, and after about 4 months, they had written the U.S. Constitution, a document that still guides our government today, more than 230 years later. Here's a fun fact. The Constitution is the shortest written constitution of any major government in the world. It's about 4,500 words. That's shorter than some chapter books you probably read. Now, the Constitution is not stuck in the past. It can change. These changes are called amendments. We've added 27 of them so far. One of the most famous, the First Amendment, which protects freedom of speech, religion, the press, and the right to gather peacefully. So, question for you, if you could add an amendment to the U.S. Constitution, what would it be? Take a little mini quiz here. So, if you have an adult hanging out with you listening, or if you're listening by yourself, try to pause after every question, see if you can answer it. And then after a couple seconds, I will answer it too. So let's see what you remember. First question, what is a constitution? That's right. It's the most important set of rules for a country. Number 2, where was the U.S. Constitution written? That's it, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Number 3, what is one thing the Constitution tells us? Great. There are a lot of answers to this. So some examples are how the government works, how leaders are chosen, what rights people have. Number 4, what is the name for a change to the Constitution? Great. It's an amendment. And the last question, how many amendments are there right now in the US Constitution? If you guessed 27, you are right. Well, that's our adventure for today. The Constitution may be over 230 years old, but it still shapes how we live and the freedoms we enjoy every single day. Next time you're in your clubhouse or your classroom, think about the rules you'd want to write down. Who knows? You might be practicing for writing rules of a country one day. I'm Liz, and this has been Civics in a Year, Kids Edition. I'll see you next time. Also, parents and adults, there is a printable Kids Constitution worksheet that goes along with this podcast. You can find it in the show notes, or you can go to civics.asu.edu for a PDF copy.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of Civics in a Year. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe and share it with someone who cares about a constitutional republic as much as you do. For more episodes, resources, and updates, follow us on social media or visit us at civics.asu.edu. Make sure to check out the show notes for any relevant links. Special thanks to the United States Marine Band for their performance of the Stars and Stripes Forever. Let's keep building a stronger constitutional republic, one episode at a time.